Worst camera angle ever, but I'm taking you on a completely unplanned test drive of a Mitsubishi Colt. I don't even know which year or anything. Just using my phone jammed in the headrest and already fighting, God, the automatic gearbox. There we are, second gear. So it's an automatic gearbox and it's a robot box from what I can tell, because it's actually not... it feels like someone who doesn't really know how to shifting gears. But it works. I mean, people who buy cars like these usually aren't too critical, but then I can assure you I do a better job of shifting gears myself smoothly than this car is. But it drives. Yeah, okay, thank you so much for that. Oh god, I hope you can hear the revs, because this is actually kind of hilarious. It's revving its arse off. Okay, I'm not gonna adjust the seat even if it's too up straight. I'm laughing about the gearbox because it's so noticeable. I'm just gonna wait here because otherwise I'll get that cyclist into trouble. Yeah, so I think this is a 1.3 model, but I'm gonna have to look it up and I'll put it here somewhere. I have no idea about the horsepower or the 0 to 100 time. I'm going to add it all in the screen. It's great, it's a Mitsubishi, and the gearbox is horrendous, but other than that, so far, it doesn't seem too bad. I'm not fighting the power steering yet, because I usually don't like power steering on small Japanese cars. God, I'm sorry, I will stop talking every time it switches gears, because it feels like something's breaking. And the thing is, I feel like it's supposed to be like this. I don't know yet how many gears it has. No, that's 4, so at least 4. Probably, it's just probably the normal 5-speed gearbox of a Colt, only controlled by a robot instead of me. A lot of clutch slip as well. I wonder how quickly that clutch wears out if you drive this car. This car is built really near here in the town of Born, where actually my Volvo 440 and the Volvo 480 are also built. And it belongs to my cousin, who's been driving it. I don't think it's... oh god, I don't think it's had too many trouble so far. So that's good. First impressions are that the steering's quite heavy. I'm not sure if it's good yet, but it's heavy. Usually I prefer light steering because I like French cars. Also, it does seem quite noisy, but I haven't driven it up to speed yet, so I'm just gonna have a little drive around these country roads and see how it behaves. It's very much frontal driven, and because of the unsubtle gear shifts, you actually feel torque steer. Wow, okay. Thank you for shifting. I'm not sure why it went berserk there, but I didn't accelerate that much more than the last few times. But it decided it was time for 4,500 revs. So that's what it did. As you may figure out, I'm not a fan of automatic gearboxes, but this one is particularly bad. Also, it just decided to shift down, and actually there was some clutch shift, and I felt the car move outwards because of the lack of drive on the wheels, which is actually a bit dangerous. Imagine driving on slippery surfaces. So how does the wheel center? It centers alright, that's okay. It's not a horrible a horrible powered steering system. That clutch slip is a bit worrying though. I'm not sure if that's normal. Anyway, you get this massive every time it shifts. I'm sure you can actually influence the gearbox by shifting down. It doesn't agree with that. Okay, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6 box. Okay, it tells me to shift down now. Okay, there you go. So I'm just going to put it in automatic again. Yeah, it's alright, it's quite comfortable. Surprisingly, I expected it to be more jumpy, but it is actually quite comfortable. Not sure which tires are on it yet, but it doesn't feel too bad when it comes to ride comfort. Steering is a bit on the... I mean, yeah, it doesn't have any feel, to be honest. Not a bit on the... it just doesn't have feel. I don't mind that too much. I'm not someone who drives a car hard generally, so I don't mind a little bit of numb steering. The only thing I really mind so far is the gearbox. Other than that, this car's sort of okay. It's not special. Let's test the brakes. Oh, they're great. Okay, great brakes actually. Those are really good. When you push them lightly, they don't seem to give you much feel, but if you stamp on them, they actually feel really good. Love the brakes. There, you got that. The steering, well, you know, it's just not a very good chassis. You can tell it rolls a bit and it just wants to push onwards. Yeah, what can I tell? I mean, these are hard reviews because there's not much special about this car. The comfort's okay. I think the rear shocks aren't in great shape. It's on 115,000 kilometers. It's a bit wallowy at the back, but you know, again, I like French cars, so I'm okay with that. Let's try a little bit of quick cornering here. And the steering is okay. It's just very uninspiring. It's just your typical, you know, mom and dad's car. No one who likes driving buys a car like this, but if you would have this as a rental car, except for the gearbox, you would be like, it's okay, you know? I think one of the tires needs a bit of inflating because every time I go over a bump, it wants to go left. When the tire sort of gets squished, there's a word for that, gets pressed, you know what I mean? I'm actually trying to do an acceleration test, but there's people all around all the time, so I can't also want to try the horn. Let's try the wipers, because okay, so there's two wipers. One's really tiny. It does need new wipers, but we have perfect overlap. It's almost horizontal up here. It goes all the way to the bottom, pretty nice. There's a massive, as Ian would call it, Ian of Hotnot, corner of disappointment there, but that's on the right side. The wipers are actually doing a very good job here, so I am happy about that. Let's squish through these people. Yeah, I don't know why it's revving so much, there's really no need for that. You have adjustable interval. Let's see, this is the slowest I think, or the longest, I'm not sure. It's not just doing loads of revs for whatever reason. It's figured it out. I think this is the longest interval time, because it's not doing a flying fuck for some time now. I'm just waiting for it now. I'm assuming the wipers are still on. Okay, that's a very long interval. Maybe I just turned them off. Let me see. No, that's actually a very long interval. Okay, let's set it to the quickest then. I am confused. So what does that do? Interval time, okay. And then I turn it down. I am not sure about this interval system. It doesn't seem to work quite right. Whatever. Whee! So I removed some of the flies from the windscreen. We have a horn. Oh, very Japanese. Sorry, people living here. We have a radio.
Aan docenten zegt de universiteit dat ze verwachten dat het tot februari.
First impression, not too bad. We're randomly shifting down now, probably because I'm going uphill.
Weten ze nog niet?
Not
En
sure.
willen ze de volgende
Oh, we got
keer.
even built-in navigation there. That's kind of interesting. It's telling me to go left. I'm just not sure why.
Sla links af.
There you go. But I didn't set any navigation, so I'm not quite sure why it's telling me to go left. And I'm also not sure how to exit the navigation now. Can I turn it off this way?
Gelijk bovenblussen.
No, I am not sure how to turn it off. Well, that sucks. Okay, I think it's off now. I'm not quite sure. I just pressed the up button. Oh, system off. Here we go. And is this enter? No.
Het is niet duidelijk of alle 50
No,
buren
this
van
is
dat
system
thuis.
off, and this is radio. Actually works quite well once you figure out how it works. So, that's the radio, and then you have your fan controls here, working all rather well. It's got air conditioning. Does it work? Let's see. I'm not too, yeah. I don't really know how this... Oh, it does work. Yeah, there you go. I have no air conditioning in my car. So the car does pull to the left a bit, I noticed, but while playing with this, I noticed that I stayed on the road quite well, which I think is quite important to me, because some cars, you look to the side and you're in a field, you know? This car tracks quite well. Actually, that's a big plus for me. I am willing to admit that I could live with this car. I wouldn't buy it, but if someone was like, hey, you got a car, I'd be like, okay, cool. That's absolutely fine, you know? So surprisingly, it's not shitty. It's just very average. Let's try an acceleration test here. I can't go to 100, I'm going to go to 60 kilometers an hour. Nippy! And there we are. If it wasn't for that gear shift, that would have actually been quite impressive. Fuel economy went up, like, or down, depending on what you look at, massively. It's now doing, let me see, 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers, 7.4, 6.5 for going down, 5.8. Okay, 6-ish at this speed. That's actually quite alright. I'll put it in miles per gallon and kilometers per liter, because that's how I do it. But around 6, according to the built-in computer. I was surprised by the speed there. That's actually not bad. I mean, it doesn't feel like a car that's going to go fast, and it was doing quite a good job there. So that's great. Yeah, it's got heated seats. Wait, I think this one's mine, right? Let's see if this works. Switches are a bit weird. If you push it from high to off, you already put it in low, so they're a bit too sensitive. Does it have a beep? Yeah, you got a beep for the handbrake to tell you shouldn't pull the handbrake while driving. I like how the gear knob, even though you probably can't see it, no you can't. It actually looks like a proper gear shifter, but it's not. I'm gonna have to do some B-roll to show you all this. Yeah, my ad is being heated up, so that is amazing. Honestly, not hating this car. I thought I would actually, but I'm not hating this car, except for the horrible gearbox. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you this. I'm gonna sit here, and I'm not gonna overdo it, right? I'm just gonna press the accelerator and show you what my body does. This is horrible. It just, oh god. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure. I hope I was forward far enough. All-round visibility is not great, by the way. It's very much a car with fat ass pillars. So I'm reversing really carefully here because I have no idea where everything is. Okay, a bit further, I guess. Here we go, and back into automatic. So one of those fake indicator noises, which it's quite satisfying for a fake one. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to first gear, I assume. Here we go, and let's accelerate aggressively. Oh boy. Oh, that gearbox is just horrible. So if you buy one of these, make sure you don't buy the automatic, because other than that, it's a fine car. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, really boring. I'm going to actually look for some music to see if... Okay, yes. It's alright. It's a bit aggressive sounding, but then I don't know how they set it up. These are not people who care too much about that kind of thing. But luxury-wise, there's quite a lot going on. We've got cup holders, we've got a cigarette lighter, loads of little cubby holes, big glove box. Is there something here? No, nothing here. We've got electric windows, probably electric mirrors, but I haven't found them yet. They must be. Where are the mirrors? Hidden. Oh, here they are. Yep, that works. I'm just going to set them as they were because I'm only driving it for now. Got the perfect space for the for the hazard lights. That's where they're supposed to be and nowhere else. Honestly, it's alright. It's really okay. I plan to hate this car, but it's just not a bad car. There's a lot of things to like about it. What does this button do? So there's a fog lights button. No, oh, you can actually change the light height on the stalk. That's actually practical if you know what you're doing, but most people will just be turning and have no idea what's going on. So you can change the height of the headlights. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not hating it. I'm really surprised. I'm going to check the tire pressure in a second because, well, not check it, just look at them and see if I am right about the probably the left front tire being a bit low, but honestly, it's not. See if I brake, see, it goes to the left quite a bit. So that's not as it's supposed to be. But then it's easy to correct. It's not like it's, you know, pulling the steering wheel out of your hands. Ugh. Oh god. I don't hate it. I'm so surprised. I thought this would be horrendous. It's actually kind of okay. Because actually the reason... Oh, that was nippy. It's not very nuanced. The reason I test drive this car is because I was talking to my cousin and my parents about which car I would rather drive, the Mercedes A-Class of my parents or this one. The answer is this one, most definitely this one. It's sort of okay. I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. With a manual gearbox, it would get a 7.5 out of 10. It's just not a horrible car to drive. And if I could buy this in a few years for like 350 euros or something ridiculous with a manual, I probably would. If I was just looking for a car. Then I don't know how much it weighs, and tax is based on weight here. So that's something to take into account probably, because this could be heavier than you think for a small car. But really surprised as well about the comfort. I just flew over that. It is very understeer. I just flew over that speed bump and it handled it quite well. So what I dislike, gearbox on this one, steering's a bit too vague maybe, but it's not a deal breaker. The pillars are just ridiculous, especially in the back. You can't see a flying fuck. Seats are not great, but then I haven't adjusted them. They are very flat feeling, but also not horrible. I've seen worse, I've seen better. It's a nice little package for people who don't care about cars, and they can still lend it to someone else who does care about cars, and that person will be like, okay, I mean, it gets you there, and they won't be super annoyed and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not passing because I can't see. These people are not annoyed that I can't. Yeah, they didn't get it. Cyclists without driver's licenses. Always fun. Okay, let's try with the... okay, here we go. Can I get it out of... Here we go, 5th gear. Does it work better if you use it manually? I wonder. Yep, so what you should do, actually, this is a robot automatic gearbox. You just let go of the accelerator, shift gears, and press it, and then it's smooth. So actually manual shifting, because if you keep it pressed, yeah, it does the same thing. But if you just let go of the accelerator gently, so it's not as jerky, and then shift gears and then press it again, it's completely smooth, it's perfect. Shifting down, obviously you get the engine brake, but even that is not too bad. Okay, so that makes this car a lot less annoying. But because the gear shift, the gear knob feels quite a bit like a real gear knob, I'm trying to go for second, but I can't of course, because that will put me in automatic again. So the logic is automatic plus minus neutral reverse. Oh yeah, I forgot that it's not an automatic now. Here we go. 3, 4. Oh, this is alright. Honestly, if you just not completely let go of the accelerator, just let it sink a little. It's like 1300 revs. That's alright. Very smooth. Oh, that's good to know. So what happens when I accelerate doing 60 in 6th gear? Not much. Yeah, that was supposed to be expected. And then it actually tells me to please shift down, which makes sense. I'm pleasantly surprised. This is actually doing it quite well for me with this sort of shifting. I could live with this actually, and I don't like automatics, so I'm surprised I can sort of live with a robot Tiptronic system. Cool. So I'm gonna take some B-roll shots now, and put it all together, and then you got a quick and dirty review of the Mitsubishi Colt, which is not horrible. That's my verdict. Not horrible. Bye.